gonna create a diary. But before I create the diary, I am gonna establish some advices to you. Sorry because I didn't set it to you before. The thing is that when you're making a project on web development, many developers usually do projects just at a glance. When I say at a glance, it means that it is just, for example, from one day to another. And it may be seen as something good. But first thing is that you have to respect certain limits if you want to keep your project on a healthy manner, and also keep yourself with peace with what surrounds you. First thing is that, for example, elephants take, if I am not wrong, 9 months to give birth. And I don't know if you know something about it, but for one elephant to give birth, it is 9 months, right? As well, a ram, or let's say some other animals that are smaller, take 180 days, which is 3 months or 4 months. From 3 months to 4 months they take. Okay. Now, that is on the terrenal animals. We have also that ravens are constantly looking for food, and you may be thinking that they are looking for deadly food, but no, the truth is that they look is for quality things that are done in places that are not specifically searched. Yesterday, for example, I received a visit of a raven or a crowd. So if you take in consideration that, it means that you should not be very often publishing secrets of web development, like if they were something like that didn't cost anything. Instead, you should publish the secrets as they are secrets, and also with certain prudency every time that you publish each one of them. So let's take that as well. I am putting notes here. Secrets and birds. Now, there is another thing, the waves of the water. There are some animals, for example, the sharks, or a pulp, or let's say the orcs. You know, there are many others. What is the name of that one? The sirens, you know, all those animals usually keep instructions in cyclings. And every time that you make a cycling too often, those animals get desperate. You know that? Yes. Animals from the water, from waters, keep cyclings and limits, including elephants. When I say including elephants, you know why I say elephants? Because the elephants, they love to keep what are, for example, memories or the bones of people or elephants. because they take in consideration those bones or those connections as something that they may be using in the future, and also as something that they may remember about someone in the future. That is why some people, when they are reading certain book, they can see like if they are even inside of the book. There are people that have developed that talent, and that is similar to elephants, to rhinoceros, and to some sharks, for example. That's why even, for example, some presidents and people that are of big importance in these days are the ones exactly, precisely the ones that put limits to other people that doesn't have this kind of capacity or ability. So if you want to be a good developer, you have to respect these limits. In the book of Job of the Holy Scripture says, God said to the waves of the waters, until here your waves shall come. And he said, until here your arrogant waves shall come. And many other limits are in the book of Job. What I'm trying to say is that if you learn to make your own set of limits that will make you be in harmony with the nature, it will help you a lot in what development matters. And also, it is not only on web development. You can also apply it, for example, to Tai Chi, even Taekwondo, or whatever other thing that you do that requires a sequence of movements that maybe you were not taking in consideration that they were connected in nature to something. For example, Tai Chi is very connected to energy, but what animal is connected to the energy? Well, for example, leopards, lions, rats, and for example, orangutans and gorillas, and so on. They are very connected to what is energy. Even you can, for example, you know that the food of the monkeys is very energetic, right? So I'm going to stop this video here just to give you this advice, and in the next video we're gonna be making a diary. Okay? I'm going to teach you how to make a diary, but we're going to try to respect the limits as I told you now. See you the next occasion, which is going to be in, for example, 19 minutes, and I hope that you have learned as much as possible. Remember, respect the limits, and if you live, for example, in a forest, the limits are different than if you live in the city, but the truth is that in spiritual matters, sometimes the limits are not very disconnected. But it is not for you to be a fanatic on about this topic neither. Okay? So remember, the grace of God is expanded around the whole earth, but it is also written, you shall enter to the city, but slowly, because the animals may come against you, said God. And also it is written, thou shalt not put your God to the temptation.